Hello and welcome back to MAFT UK. And where am I this weekend? Well, I've got 24 hours on my syndicate. It's the first time I've ever fished this place. I paid for my fees in March, and as we know, we've not been able to get out. So this is my first time on the lake, and I must admit this place is absolutely immaculate. I'm really looking forward to it. I am with Dave. Dave is here with me. He's currently around the corner doing his bits and bobs. But we'll introduce Dave in a minute. We are keeping our social distancing, so we're a peg apart. So there's me, Space, and then Dave, and we're just following the rules of the fishery. So whereabouts are we in the country? Well, we're still northwest. I'm about 40 minutes drive from my home maximum, but I've got to double back on myself because it's a difficult place to get to, because I'm near a well-known fell in the northwest, and I can't tell you the name yet. I don't know whether I'm allowed to. I don't know the rules on blogging in this place, but until then. Anyway, I think I can hear Dave coming, so let's introduce you to Dave.
Hello. What are you laughing at? I've had my hair cut, haven't I? I've had it done short. I knew you'd take the piss.
Sorry.
I can't believe it.
Batman. Sorry, let me introduce you to Batman.
What Batman? I'm Bane. You can't even get your characters right.
Bane! It's your ear.
Oh, have I got...
Batman!
I must look alright, idiot, now.
Anyway, welcome, Dave. This is your first fishing this year, isn't it?
Yeah, this is your boilie pouch.
So
my first trip of the year.
Yeah, I know it's been difficult to get out, hasn't it? I mean, this place is actually, there's one other fisherman on here at the moment, just one guy, but there's no one else on the pegs because it's a very tight syndicate and they're fussy who they let in. So I don't know how we got in. All my kit is still piled up on the bank. I'm gonna need to get it sorted. Dave's got his bivvy up, but I'm gonna get the rods out first because it's an absolute cracking day. I'll give you a quick show of the lake in a second, and then we'll crack on. And we'll talk a little bit about tactics and what I've got and what else going on this weekend and what you've been up to. Now we will be having a social drink later, but obviously keep it low key.
Drink.
Yeah, but it'll be.
Well, we're not having many, are we?
No, we're not.
Like tins and that's it.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit low key. First time on a syndicate, I don't want to kick the hoop out of it and get in trouble. So there we go. So we'll catch up with you in a bit. Good to be back on the bank again. So that was a quick look at the lake. I'll show you a bit more later on a walk around when I'm all set up. But basically you've got two halves. You've got this area that I'm in now, and then you go the other side and there's another area as well. So you've got predominantly mixed, so you've got coarse and carp fishing on this lake. So you see lots of pegs sprinkled around, but as you can see it's very, very quiet. And one of the attractions of that place is the fact that it never really gets busy, but it's a wonderful place. Yeah, it's Dave's been coming now a couple of years and I've been meaning to, but never got round to joining. And fortunately I'm in now, so let's get these rods in the water. There's a 2-rod rule during the summer months, but when in the winter months you can go up to 3. Let's get the rods out. I'm going to say the adjustability of that pod is amazing. It's not very many situations that you can't use that pod, and because of its weight, you don't need to tie it down or anything. It's a really, really useful. It just adapts to any situation. I've not found a situation where I can't use that properly. So, baiting up strategy. What am I doing? Well, I have 15mm Hinders Beatanana, and what I've done, I soaked them last night in some syrup, and I also coated them with a spod cloud mix. So these are the ones I'm going to use with my hook baits. What they are is like really dusty now. They look like they're old, but they're not. They're fresh out of the bag. So yeah, they're all coated. I'm going to be using bottom bait on one rod and a pop up on another. So I'm going to look like bonbons, don't they? They're all covered and rolled, so they got plenty of flavour. Now this water isn't very clear at all, so I'm assuming that they're going to be reliant upon stink and smell to find the bait as opposed to sight. So hence this method. I will top that with half of a Hinders Exo pop-up to give it some sort of, again, critically balanced weight. Makes it a little bit lighter, so I'm going to try that. So let's see how we go with that. Let's get that baited up. There's not a lot of room in these swims, so you can't do your normal put your rod in your bivvy in the air thing, because there's just not the room to do that here. So you have to leave your rods pretty much on the pod and bring your line back to bait up. So not the end of the world, but it's what you've got to do. That is the thing with this place. These swims are tiny. They're not big swims at all. So I've actually got quite a long hair rig on this one. It's coming up to about 11 inches. and I'm going to be right up against that bank. It's a 4-foot drop straight off the bank, and it's 10¼ wraps. So I'm all clipped up, good to go. Get this out, get my spod rod out, and then I'm just going to put a few baits on it as well. So there we are. This, once this goes out, it's staying out. Well, I've spotted out, I've baited up my areas. It's only 2 areas. I've put a lot of bait up around the island over there, and I've not put it in one spot. I've put it along the length of the island and a little bit back too. So I'm expecting that to have scared all the fish away from there at the moment, but I'm hoping that they will come back in later. The one underneath the trees over there, not really happy with that one. I may adjust that later on. I'll give it a couple hours in that position. If I don't get nothing from that, then I'll move it closer to the lily pads. So I'm not really pleased with that area, but that one out there I am. Yeah, everything tells me that's a good place to be. So let's see. In the meantime, I did actually try my pole to see if I could get out to that distance, because I thought I might just be able to reach it, but I can see now why Andy bought the 18-metre one. If you fish these pegs, the 18-metre pole gets you up to the island, and that's where you need to be, and you can just carefully place your bait. So I get why he did what he did and got the longer pole. So there you are. I do like the place. It is actually getting busier. There's a chap turned up. He's gone over to one of the pegs we looked at earlier. If you come here on your own, that's the peg to have in the far corner. You're the last man. You can spread out. You don't have to worry about the path or anything. So, but the swims are very, very, very tight. Very tight. So if Andy hadn't given me this bivvy, I could not have fit my 2-man bivvy on here. You wouldn't get it on. So hence, this is why Andy gave me that, because he knew I was coming here and he knew I would probably need that. So thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Lots of tench, lots of all sorts in here actually. Lots of movement on the surface of water, but not necessarily carp. This is the first syndicate I've ever been part of. I've never joined any syndicate or anything like that before, so should be good, should be interesting. So what have you got, Dave?
Nice slimy brain.
The Slimer.
Yeah. Don't want too many of them.
No, we don't. But we know they're here though, don't we? That's the thing.
It might be a blank saver.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah. Nice. We got a towel.
No, I'm not using mine. Corona.
I used to jumping before.
Yeah, but that was different.
It's the same slime, or similar.
I'll place it down there for you.
Okay, I'll drink it in 72 hours when it's been quarantined. Thank you.
Get the fuck back. Get back. No, I use this, look. Look. I was only wiping my ass with it earlier. Cheers. Oh, that's a nice nice milk.
Not semi-skimmed, is it?
No, it's actually a bourbon. Enjoy your brew, Dave. Right, so later I'm cooking dinner tonight. I'm doing a Italian chicken mushroom risotto. The starters is going to be some stuffed mushrooms, they will have jalapeno hummus with grated cheese and spinach. So that's going to be stuffed, and we'll do those first as a starter, and then we'll do I brought an extra large pan with me, and then this evening we'll also do the it's a one pan meal, but it has to be cooked in stages, but it's a one pan. You just have one pan and everything goes in that one pan. So that should be something to look forward to this evening. We've also, to go down with that, we've got some good traditional ales, like Black Sheep ales. So we've got some of those, a couple of bottles of those each to go with it as well. So should be alright. Should be a nice dinner this evening. We'll see the night through. Dave's got to go early in the morning. I don't have to go early in the morning. I can stay a little bit longer, so that's probably what I'm going to do. I have quite a few shout outs to do, especially when it comes to, I've got a couple of other video channels that I'm going to promote as well. And I did say on my last video that I do try and promote other channels, you know, with who are just starting out, because channels like mine and those channels, you know, we should work together and try and promote each other, and yeah, that's what I'm going to do later. So keep your eye out. There's two channels I'm going to promote, and there's a lot of shout outs we're going to do later on, but we'll probably do that around about lunchtime, dinner time, and have a bit of a laugh and a giggle with that too. Alright, so until then, let's get on these rods. I do quite like the lake. Buggy. I've just gone through my stuff and I've left my stuffed mushrooms at home. I was really looking forward to them. They're in the fridge. I wrapped them separately. I put everything else in this one bag, so it's all good to go, chopped and prepped and everything else, and some spinach and everything in there. And my mushrooms are in there, but my stuffed mushrooms I've left at home, so we're not having them this evening. We'll have to have some cheese and onion crisps instead. So Dave said this place is peaceful, quiet, and nobody ever fishes here. So
No one listens today.
there's 4 lads on now. There's 4 coming later this evening, and there's a guy in the back with a chainsaw, and the digger's been driving around. So I think Dave lied. So what's the noise now, Dave?
What noise? No, that's not. That's a woodpecker, mate.
It's a very fast woodpecker.
Oh, they are faster, yeah.
Hammer drill SDS woodpecker. Yeah, really quiet. Come fishing, it's really quiet.
I think in the background I can hear the kango bird. And then there's the tractor duck.
Oh, the tractor duck and the lesser spotted JCB.
Yeah. Other than that, it's just, this is countryside, mate, and it's being maintained.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, could you speak up? I can't hear you. So here is the situation. I mean, I'm currently right underneath that tree line there, so I'm absolute perfect cast. I couldn't ask for a better place, right on the tree line, right there. I was, as you seen earlier, spodding and baited up about there. Hang on, no, it's there where that muddy bank is. That's where I actually was, but I've had no line, there's no nothing, and I've gone for a little walk around the lake just to see what's going on, see if I can see anything, see any movement. And what I've found was that just there and in and around those lily pads there was a lot of carp movement. So I have changed my position and moved while I've got the opportunity to take that water. I'm now there. Dave is doing a bit of coarse fishing there, just filling in the time. He's had a tench and a bream, I think he's also lost a carp as well. But yeah, there's lots of movement on this water, but because it's quite a lot in here, it's not necessarily carp. So I'm not as excited as I was the other day. You know, every time I see the movement, I was like, "Woo!" But I'm not like that now, because I'm sort of being told about the water a little bit. I'm learning as I go here, really. So that's how it is. So, since I've been back, since I went round, so I cast, went round and baited up. Since I've done that, there has been a liner on my right hand rod, which is more than I had when it was right out in front of me. So that does say that there is fish between my rod and my bait. Now, how close that liner was to my bait, who knows? It could have been a liner just as it dropped under the water. But at least I do know there's fish over there. I did see them. So you've got to do it. You've got to cast over to where they are whilst I can. If somebody moves in on that spot, end of story. It's starting to rain on us a little bit now. It's only a shower, very light shower, but I will have to pull a bit of gear in. Yeah. Anyway, we've had some bacon butties, so we're full until dinner tonight. Yeah, it's a nice lake. I like it. I do like it. I've never seen a fish do that before.
I did it before and I was laughing. Yeah. It's a salmon bream.
I have never seen one do that. We've missed it on the camera, obviously, but this thing was leaping out like it was some sort of sea fish.
Well, the last bream did this as well. Like the last one.
Yeah.
That was on double sweet corn. They have a pin that you get with the. I'm using a baiting needle. So that's what I'm using.
Hang on, I can't see.
Hold on.
Where's your hang on? Got it, yep. Yeah, very good. So that setup, so what we're looking at then is...
I'm just fishing it dead close in.
You're fishing close in, but your bait's on the floor, on the bottom.
I'm literally just cobbing it there. And a handful of pellet and a bit of corn. I had that on the corn that time. I've gone back on the pellet. It's a bit close in now, that. I've had a tension 2 bream and I've not even done this for an hour, have I?
No.
But before now, when I was saying you get a load of bubbles coming up, there's the odd bubble now. You see them in the background, but you get a big sheet of them come up and you think, well, you know you're going to get a bite then. I've not had many bites, to be fair. They're only once in a while.
Right, so here we go then. As Dave is doing a bit of coarse fishing in between his carping, I'm going to give a huge shout out to Joe McGinty.
Joe!
How you doing, mate? You okay? And I think Dave's got a question for you.
Yeah, please let me in your stores, Joe. It's like Fort Knox, I tell you.
Yeah, I know. Well, he keeps them tight.
Not bad.
What would you say? Leave it there?
Yeah. I wouldn't disturb it too much.
Now the problem is, although I felt like I was under the tree in a good spot there, what I did see was a carp bosh on the end of the reeds there, right there. Now I can't help it. If I know the carp are in that area, and I've been watching them in that area for the last, I don't know, well, maybe a couple hours. I know they've been there. but the position I was in right underneath those trees seemed perfect too. But I have nothing, not a liner, no nothing has come from that little bit there. So I know it's impatient. I know you're supposed to have more patience. I know you're supposed to wait, and you know, can't help it. I'm over where the fish are. I can't help it. So one cast, I got somewhat near where I wanted to be, so I'm quite happy with the position. I know there's fish in the area. Let's see. Let's see if it pays off. When you've only got 24 hours, you've got to fish where the fish are. And if that means moving your position even though you've baited up, then I think you should do it. But that's my personal opinion. You may think different. The reeds here on the very end, you can see them being knocked by the carp as they manoeuvre in amongst them. Now, listen, I think what I mentioned on the last video, we were looking at booking a 5-day session with Chris Fennell, the Carp King 71, Dave, Andy, my mate, and oh, another fish jumped out of the water there. They seem to be moving around a bit now. Oh, you straight in, straight away? Yeah. What is it, a bream? Bream, yeah, sweet corner getting a bream. Well, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, so we've actually booked a 5-day bonus session at Kellet. We've exclusively got Kellet Lake. We've booked it exclusively. I don't know if you know or not, but you can actually do that. This will be the second time we've booked it exclusive. We're going to be there in August. I can't remember the exact dates right now, but unfortunately Mark, who came with us on the Christmas social, doesn't carp fish anymore, and he can't make it, but he was going to come up especially for that one trip, but can't make it. So if you're about and we're about, come on down and say hello to Chris, myself, Dave and everyone. Always got time for you to have a brew, and if you stop by and say hello, we'll always chat to you, as you will. We've still got, sorry, I'm paying more attention to the reeds than I am of you. We've still got a lot of shout outs to do later, but we will do that later on this evening. The weather's been a bit on and off, like look, the sun's just coming out now. It's lovely, and then 10 minutes from now it'll be gone and maybe raining again. So there we are. I am liking this water. I do like places where there's things to fish to. I'm not a big fan of big open waters, lobbing it out into the open water trying to find some feature that might not exist. I think that's a difficult task to do, whereas fishing in lakes like this with lots of features, I do like. I think the NI Carper, he has a lake that he goes to with lots of snags and lots of islands and lots of bits and bobs in there. I quite like those places too, you know, so not big pit reels, just smaller stuff. Yeah, my kind of carping, I do like fishing that way. Thank you. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, when the sun does come out, it's amazingly different, isn't it? One minute you think about putting your t-shirt on. Sorry, one minute you think about putting your hoodie on, and the next minute you're taking the bugger off again because the sun's come out. Not that I'm complaining. No. Yeah. Well, if you're getting impatient, then if you're moving your carp rods, then that says a lot. I'm going to go and take a picture of the island, the contour map.
Oh yeah, get it on your phone.
Yeah. I think I'll just nip off. So, let's have an update. Over by the lilies over there, although the carp are there, I've been over again and had a look. I threw a couple more boilies in, only a handful. And as soon as I did, they all scattered. You could see them under the lilies scattering. So I'm on the right spot, but the bait wasn't doing the trick. So what I've done now is I've changed over to a betadine soaked, you can see the betadine in there, that's been in there for months now, betadine soaked large white sweet corn type thing. It's not a sweet corn, but it's that shape, you know, the rubber corn, but it's a large white one, and I've just basically got that on a hook, so it's just a single white pop up off the hook, and that's what I'm doing. But I have baited up and around there, but the boilie and the pop up, the snowman type effect wasn't working here, wasn't working. Well, it hadn't done, so I'm trying something else. I know they're there. If they're not feeding, I've got to try and get them into the swing of things. How do I do that? I don't know, but I'm just going to keep changing my baits until I find the one that works. So if that one doesn't work, the only thing that's happening there, I am risking a bream. But I guess some action is better than none. Now showing the latest requisition. This is the Nature Hike table, and it's very, very blue and not very carpy at all. So let's have a quick look at this table. It is very blue and very reflective. However, the reason I have this table from Nature Hike is purely and simply for my walking and hiking, but when come carping I can use it, keep stuff off the mud and floor, and also because it's nice and bright I don't stand on it because it's camouflaged, so it's okay. I don't mind the fact that it's quite reflective because I see it. It's actually a good strong rigid table, and I will do a review on it soon because I have used it, and you don't need to know much about a table to say whether it's any good or not.
It's rubbish.
Dave says it's rubbish.
Get out of my son. I've got a new part-time job.
What do you do?
It's at the guillotine factory.
Oh yeah?
I'll be heading there soon.
Right.
I think it's just too warm.
Well, if I fired, every time I've seen fish move, or fish, I'm fishing for bites. I mean, I think that's an acceptable tactic. People will say that to you, won't they? Oh yeah, I was fishing for bites, I was dropping it in there a couple hours, dropping it in there a couple hours, and that's exactly what I've done.
Yeah, you've been messing around.
Yeah. So I've disturbed the fish everywhere I possibly can.
And now I've gone the opposite. I've plopped out and left them.
You've left it.
And nothing's working.
No. And I've changed.
We've got the winds pushing, hacking into my corner.
Yeah.
There is one guy on, there's only 3 of us on this. I know it's not a big lake, but we're covering quite a good area, aren't we?
Yeah.
And I don't think he's had out yet. I think it'll just needs the heat to drop down before they get their heads down a bit. Although I've been at this lake, this is my 3rd year on here, so I should have a few tips for you.
Yeah. Never push your granny when she's shaving.
I've never heard that in my life.
So it's a top tip.
Never push your granny when she's shaving.
Yeah, well that was just, there was only a few. Everybody thinks there was tons and tons of beer on
Mate,
that.
you made it look like there was a lot.
Yeah, well there was actually...
You took some home, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, yeah. Yeah, I took most of that whiskey came home. But I mean, that was just the way it is.
It actually felt like I'd missed out on a good session there.
Yeah, there's something about having a drink when you're out fishing, but I mean, when you're on your own, you can't.
It's not the same,
No,
is it?
you just have a couple, don't you? Someone said to me, I can't remember the guy's name, he said, have you actually ever tried water? I went, what?
With wops, with hops.
Do you ever drink water? I think the question was. Do you ever drink water? No, not really. No.
Not even tea you put additives in, don't you?
Yeah, special milk. Well, as you can see, our mate Dave is in. And by all intents and purposes, there's quite a decent little carp he's got on there. Obviously now it's his first fish for the day, so he's going to kick the ass out of it, bringing it in. I'm only jealous.
We're off the mark, Matt. £15.
Yeah, that's a nice fish. And what did you catch it on, Dave?
I caught it on a banana bottom, you know, to balance it
Yeah,
out, like a snowman, but a put down snowman.
Right, jolly good.
And that was cast to the far margin over there, with about 50 baits around it. That was that.
Jolly good. Well done. You're off the mark, mate.
Yeah. Oh. I'm just going to check the mouth. Have you got some of that clinic?
Yeah, it's to your right there. Put it there to your right.
Where?
My right.
My left. I'll just put a little.
Well done, Dave.
There was a few fish in them. Yeah, you got it. I think someone come on last
Was he
week,
gone?
didn't they? No, before it's gone now.
Oh, it's gone, right. David is doing a wee bit of floater fish. Well, what would you call surface fishing?
Talking, yeah.
And what have you got there, Dav?
A little, nice little
Oh yeah, look at that.
baby common. We got it.
Yeah, yeah.
Took on floating bread. Could be a right battle in the lilies on a 14 hook.
On a size 14 hook. Yeah, that was a good little fight, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no, there's more on the hook. Taking in between the lilies, aren't they, coming up?
You've had two on there, haven't you? You've actually managed
I've
to...
lost two and landed one, so it's my first one landed. But I think I might step up to like a size 6 hook.
I can say I might have a go myself after dinner, see if I can actually, if I can get one out of here, do I class it as a non-blank?
Definitely, definitely. The other thing is, what I've done before is I brought a single rod on a buzzer and just dropped a bag in here and they've absolutely ripped off. I've had quite a few out of here. But they do go to, you know, upper doubles in here, 15s.
That's a good idea, actually.
It's definitely a blank saver. This is what I treat this water as, blank saver. Up there it is on the top now.
That's a good idea. I might just drop one in this little margin here right behind me.
Yeah.
Because it's literally 6 foot from the back of your bivvy.
Yeah, PVA bag, bottom bait, it'll probably go within an hour. Bit of, you know, rubber corn or bit of a boilie. But they do get there.
As explained earlier, we are going to forego our starters because I forgot them, and we're going to go straight to the main meal. So we've got Funyuns, mushroom and spinach, Chiquiano, rice, pies and sweet corn, 1 pan Italian chicken risotto.
Where's the head strap gone? You should have brought a slow cooker in, you feel.
As soon as we get to our next step, I'll show you what I do. Bring you in again. I think we'll start with the milk stout. What are you having for your starters?
Velo. Ram, black sheep.
Ram black sheep. Right. That stinks.
There you go, sir.
Thank you, mate.
Enjoy your milk. Special milk.
Shalom.
Is it chicken or bread fed cute? Looks very healthy. I like the fact you do go to all the trouble doing all the measurements and everything before you come here.
Well, one has two, old boy. It's looking good though already, isn't it?
Looks
very colourful. Yeah, I was just about to say the same actually.
Nutty.
Yes.
Have you got a lid for your pad?
Yep. That's nice.
You're a connoisseur.
Now it says you're supposed to add a litre of water, but I'm not going to. Like you said, I think you're right in what you say. Keep adding until...
Yeah, risotto is one of them meals that you just got to keep stirring, or I've been led to believe. And you just got to let it slowly absorb the water, haven't you? Or the liquid.
Well, as you well know, Dave, the table gives you an extra couple inches, and we all know how important that is.
You've table ended it.
Don't we? Not me personally, by the way.
It's the difference between an U and an R, isn't it?
I've never heard that before.
Of all the colours, why blue?
Well, the reason it's blue is twofold, really. One, it's very visible and very difficult to stand on.
You're not going to lose it, are you?
No. The second one is, it's the only flaming colour they had left.
Right.
Am I that bothered that it's blue? No, because I ain't standing on it so easy. Well, Dave, I think the risotto is nearly there. Do we need to open a fresh bottle of beer to have with it? I think so, don't you?
We could have. What was your milk stout like, or whatever it was? Milk,
Well, you're just about to find out.
or whatever it is.
Black sheep ale?
Yeah.
Yeah?
You give me your shit. Beggars can't be choosers, folks.
Right, well in that case...
No, it's a very good... If you ever fish with mouth...
You're having that one next, because I quite fancy the Wriggle Welter as well. Right, I think this risotto is good to go.
I'm just saying, if you ever fish...
You ready?
Nice aroma. Bloody hell, there's a snake popping up.
I bet you can't do that.
You're a bit of a Judith, aren't you?
Yeah.
Charmer.
Hey! Never mind your snake popping up.
Yeah,
We're only fishing.
Get your Judith in your pants, eh? Good
Holy
combination.
grail. Golden ale tempted over burning witches.
Cheers, 2 metre.
Cheers, mate.
As the Chuckle Brothers would say.
I've never seen that before.
I'm for the first one already. It's tasty, tasty, very, very tasty.
That is actually. What do you think of that?
For a bankside meal.
I'm going to say
That's nice. Yeah.
my risotto has turned out to be quite tasty, isn't it? It's quite citrusy, would you say? I think what we'll do, Dave and I will finish our dinner, and when we've done that, I think it's time for our shout outs, don't you? Yeah. Shout outs.
Shout out.
I do believe it's time for
I'm talking to you, come on.
Sam Whedon. How you doing, mate? You okay?
Right, Sam.
Here, yeah, here finally is your shout out. I know you've been after one for quite some time, but there you go. Sam,
Sam.
how are you doing, mate? All the best to you, buddy. Next on the list is Maria Island. Maria Island. That's the last that we met, or I met on the way out of the Kellet recently. So I hope you're well, mate. Hello to you and your partner. Hope you're both well, and maybe we'll bump into each other again sometime whilst we're fishing it. So take care, mate. Nice to have met you. Next on the shout out list is Stephen Reeves. Steve, thank you very much for your comments, and I hope you're well, mate. Top man. And next on the list is Priscilla Robertson. Priscilla, I hope you're well. Thank you very much for your comments. Thank you very much for your support on the channel. We do appreciate it. I say we because Dave's often with me when we come fishing anyhow. So
Cheers.
cheers. Thank you, Priscilla.
I'm here for the free ride.
The final shout out for today is going to be Maria Salazar. The reason I'm giving Maria a shout out is because you've just seen us cook our dinner, and I've asked Maria to send me over some South American recipes. No, you're absolute specialist in Mexican food, and we definitely want to give that a try on the bank if we can. So Looking forward to you. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's Texan food.
Yeah, that's Texan, but I mean, we're looking forward to Maria, so thank you very much. Now, while we're on the subject of shout-outs, I did say in the last video that I will support and do support other channels, you know, like my own small channels that need a little bit of. Well, you know, you support other channels, don't you? That, you know, you watch them and you subscribe to those channels, and you know you do, because everybody needs a little bit of a helping hand. I know I certainly did, and if it wasn't for Chris Fennell, he certainly pointed, you know, a lot of people my direction. So everybody helps everybody, and that's the way it should be. If a channel's got anything about it, then it should be. So in that case, tonight I'm going to promote, at least ask you to have a look at inline carping. Inline carping is a small channel. I think he's coming up to about 500 subscribers now. And he's got a little bit of a competition coming up where you can win some t-shirts, and his latest videos showing off this new complex, which will become open to the public soon, where you can, it's a cat and carp lake, and you can do an exclusive rent for the lake and you can fish it.
Maybe we could even book it.
We might, yeah, it's something that Dave and I would consider maybe in the future, to have a look at that as well and give it a go. Promise you this is the last shout out for today. This is,
I hope so.
yeah. This is Jimmy's fishing channel. Jimmy is a brand new channel, literally about half a dozen videos out at most. Take a look at the video. On his last video he caught some nice fish, so have a look at this small extract from his video now, and go over to his channel, have a look. And I said I'd give him a shout out and I'd show him a little clip of his fish that he caught recently. So there you go, Jim. I hope everything works out well for you, mate. And there you go, nice big plug for you.
Well, check that out. It's only 22.5 £, but who cares? Stunning farrier's common. Wow. Took on the 11 3/4 wrap spot to the left on the new Treen wafter that I trimmed down with a little pink topper on it, on the IQ, well, on the D rig from Vardis. Wow, absolutely made up. It's been closed for a while, so it's nice to get back into a few fish. Wow, absolutely beautiful. Stunning fish. Thank you. Oh, check that out. 34.5 £. A beautiful farrier's common. It's nice to get a couple of, amongst a couple of the bigger ones. First 30 of the year, so definitely happy with that. I am buzzing. Cool. I knew it was a decent fish when it went in the net, because it's as wide as it is deep, so happy with that.
I didn't know you showed fish on this channel. This
See you
isn't a
later.
fishing channel.
Is it not?
What the hell are you doing?
Well, I'm not fishing really, I guess. I'm just like sat on the bank.
This is outdoor.
Yeah. Just sat on the bank.
Maybe we should change the name of the...
We should change it to Sat Near the Water. MAFT UK Near Water.
Rent a view. Look at what I can see.
Bivvy sleeping. That's what we should call it. Bivvy sleeping. How to sleep in bivvies all night without being disturbed.
You're not going to be known as the fish whisperer, are you? Unless you play your flute.
Thanks, Dave.
There's a fish. I knew you had a little roach. That's one thing I've not caught. Dog tips don't lie, do they? Roach. Hooked in fed. That'd be quite a decent one if you were
Fishing for roach?
yeah.
Well, it is 1:10 in the morning. Dave's already snoring his head off. Still 1-0 to Dave at the moment. But I am actually staying a little bit longer, so I might be able to draw level pegging. Although these are great bivvies and they fit on these small pegs, I am a little bit cooped up in it, and I don't like tight bivvies, but there you go. Needs must, I'm afraid. It's the only things that can fit on these pegs. Usual script, if you don't see any footage of me holding a beautiful carp in the middle of the night, then I hadn't caught bugger all. So probably the next shot will be me in the morning. Oh, and PS, just before I turn in, it's just starting to rain, and they give some heavy rain tomorrow. So it's either going to be a wet pack up for Dave, or hopefully I might be able to ride it out and it will dry later. The beauty of this place, I don't have a time to get off because it's a syndicate and I've paid my fee. So if I want to leave here tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the evening, I bloody well can. And that's the first time I've ever had that experience, because normally I'm a day ticket sort of guy. So there you are. It's quite nice actually to know that I don't have to rush off anywhere, and I'm only about half an hour from my house. Oh dear, it's 5:30 in the morning and it's not a very nice morning. Now I will say this, a hardened carper will say, I don't mind that it's raining, I'll go out in all weathers. Yeah, I do too. But I'm quite hoping that I don't get a fish while it's raining. Well, this looks like certainly a more stunning fish, Dave.
Well, it's 24.5.
24.5.
And this weighs £3.
Right.
I weighed it, so it's 21.5. You want to see it on the thing?
No, that's fine. Take your word for it.
That's 20. There we go.
Hang on, the light is awful for that.
Is it?
Yeah, hang on. There we go. Yeah, that's a nice fish that day.
Yeah, nice long 21. The guy is scrapped, so I shouted you.
I was...
They got me in the reeds over there, then they got me in the reeds on the island. Came in with a big twig on it. But yeah, it was a bit of an angry male fish, this one.
Yeah, it's a cracker that. Nice one.
It was a drop back as well. So yeah, this is my best from this little lake so far. I'll tell you what. I was just going to say I'll get a photograph on my camera, but it doesn't matter, it's gone now.
Jolly good show, well done.
There's definitely 20s in there then, told you. And we weighed it.
I can't believe my luck. There you are. Well, you can see it is a much more overcast, much more miserable day today. However, nothing for me overnight, not to worry. So I've put both rods now into carp alley, as they call it. So in that gap up there you can see one either side, one under the tree, one to the right to the reeds. And I've just baited up with a catapult, and I just about get to it on the catapult. So it's literally just on the money. Any further and I couldn't do it. So where those ducks are, I don't know if you can see the ducks, I'll zoom in. There, where the ducks are, that's pretty much where my baits are. So Dave is making us a brew now. And well, that's all there is to it really. Another fisherman's turned up and he's just moved into the area. I was just going to change my rod, so I'm forced now to go into carp alley, as they call it, or in my case, no carp alley. Things are starting to look a bit desperate for me, so I've asked Dave to leave his coarse fishing rod, and I'll go into the little pool behind, and if I can pull a carp out of there, I'll class it as a non-blank. Although in my own mind I know it will be. But I ain't giving up yet. I'm not giving up yet. There's no reason they shouldn't produce a fish for me. I've got bait on it, there's nothing wrong with the rigs are fine. So it is what it is. So we've reached that point where I've got to say goodbye to Two Fish Dave. Yeah, he's absolutely, he's whooped me again.
Isn't it a competition, Matt?
Yeah, yes it is. Yes it is. If I'd have got two fish, you'd have gone out all out to get two fish.
Maybe.
Yeah, but yeah, unfortunately, maybe my ass.
Not a speck of rubbish anywhere.
No, No, it's not. No.
Lovely and clean. Yeah, nice.
Well,
It's
not-
nice to actually get back out. First trip for the year for
Yeah,
me.
6 months since you ran out last
Yeah.
time.
Not as rusty as I was when I started.
No, 6 months and he's got 2 fish.
That'll do. That's my year's quota now.
Anyway, mate, I would shake your hand, but I won't.
Yeah, elbows.
Elbows. Ching.
Rules.
So there we go. There you are. That's it. Thanks, mate. See you next time, mate.
Yeah, enjoyed it as always. See ya.
Whack. 11 o'clock Sunday, and it's pouring down. Some lads have just turned up and they're setting up in the rain. Fortunately, I'm not in any rush to get out of here. All my rods are in at the moment, and I've come to the pond behind us where Dave was catching the small fish yesterday. And you have to ask yourself, is this the last attempt of a desperate man? And the answer is quite simply yes, it is. I guess sometimes you're just going to have to admit that it's not going to happen today. So I'm knocking it on the head. They're not taking off the top. It's a blank. So there you go then, that's the end of the session. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed your shout outs, and if you were expecting one and you didn't get one, make sure I know about it in the comments below, okay? Please like and subscribe to this video, share it if you wish, and join me for the next one. Where is the next one? Well, possibly the Blogger Social, coming up in August. May even sneak in a quickie somewhere else, maybe even come back here, I don't know. But I do have my rifle to shoot, and I do have some hill walking and some hammocking to do as well. So it might be a couple of weeks before I get back onto the bank again. But again, like I said, this is an amazing place. It's sort of like semi-wild. But with the swims are very tiny. But it is an amazing place. So see you next time, and thank you. Bye bye.